بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على من بعثه رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار وغر الميامين وعلى أتباعه إلى يوم الدين فسبحانك اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ربي علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وأرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه وأدخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين وأخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى أنوار المعرفة والعلم ومن وصول الشهوات إلى جنات القربات. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Welcome again to نحو التطبيقي. Today we're looking at الأسماء on the particles of conditions in Arabic, right? And we have earlier noted that when you look at the particles of conditions in Arabic, we saying they are qisman, right? They are qisman. We have huruf wa asma. We have particles or letters, or they are alphabetic wa asma. And then they are nouns. Ismun, nouns. So, and again, the adawat shart, as we have already noted, there are 11 of them. And then out of the 11, two are حرفان إن and إسمة وهما حرفان مبنيان على السكون لا محل لهما من الإعراب. So لا محل, they are مبنيان, they are indeclinable, and they are always on sukun. They are indeclinable on sukun. And they have no grammatical function, or we don't have any grammatical, they don't have any grammatical passing ability. We cannot say they are maf'ul bihi or fa'il or and that and that and that. لا محل لا محل لهما من الإعراب. And we've already discussed the in or isma. Remember, they are all hypothetical or conditional particles. So today we're looking at the asma, right? The asma, we have من وما ومحما ومتى وأيان وأين وحيثما وأن وأي. And again, these are أسماء مبنية. They are indeclinable. لا محل لها من الإعراب. They don't have passing ability. Parsing. 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 إعراب. Okay. Ada, except, right? Except أي. Except ayu. Remember, we've said that ayu have passing ability because sometimes we have ayu and sometimes we have ayi and sometimes we have ayya. So this is mu'rab. Ayu is mu'rabah. Walaysat mabniyah. It is not mabni. And this is where we're starting today. والأسماء في محل البحث. So the nouns that our investigation is looking at or under our consideration today, we're going to look at them. وَتَفْصِيلِ إِعْرَابها عَلَى النَّحْوِ التالي. So we are going to look at the i'rab of these asma. We're going to look at man, وما, ومحما, ومتى, وأيان, وعين, وحيثما, وأن, وأي. What are the passing skills or the functions that they play in the sentence, or how do you pass them, or how do you express them in passing in i'rab? Now, before you know that, in دلت يعني الأداة على الزمان, right? If the particle is expressing zaman, that is time. Okay, if the particle is expressing time, zaman, أو or it is expressing makan, place. So basically, you want to know if it is an adverb of time or it is an adverb of place. You have to look at the adat from that angle. So the writer is saying that in, so this is a condition. If And that's what we're looking at. إن دلت الأداة على الزمان أو مكان كانت في محل النصب. So if the adat ما من مهما متى أيان أين حيثما أن وأي, if they are expressing adverbial, right, situation of time or adverbial situation of place, then we can say كانت في محل نصب على ظرفية. So you may want to look at the footnote. And among the nine particles that are أسماء والأدوات التي تدل على الزمان, the particles that are expressing or indicative of zaman or time, they are here متى, we have متى وأيان وأيو. We've already looked at their meanings, so you may want to check your earlier um, materials to acquaint and to also redouble your understanding on when is matter here. Remember, matter can be adat istifhamiyya or istifham. We can use it to ask question. That is when. Mata jit. When did you come? So if you say mata jita or mata jit, here the matter is not a hypothetical particle or conditional particle. So you need to be very careful there. وأيانا وأيو. So مضافة إلى الزمان. So we say they are what? مضافة. They are attached to what? Time. والأدوات التي تدل على مكان, and the particles that are expressing adverbial situation of place, مكان, they are what? أين, حيثما, أن, وأي. مضافة إلى المكان. So you can see that أي can be مضافة إلى الزمان, indicating time, and then the same أي can be إضافة إلى مكان, expressing places. So simply what we're saying is that the particle ayu can be used to express adverbial situation of time. And then it can be used as an particle for adverbial clause of um, place. So either or, you can use ayana, ayu, excuse me. So, so these are the two critical points that you need to know. Number one and number two. Out of the 11 adat, we have those that are used to express time and those that are used to express again. تدل على زمان وعلى مكان. So أدوات التي تدل على الزمان وأدوات التي تدل على مكان. Very, very important. And you should be able to know them too, out of them. We have متى, أيان, أيو. إضافة إلى زمان, أين, حيثما, أن, وأيو. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So 3 here, 3 there. Now, let's look at أمثلة, some examples. متى تسافر؟ أسافر. متى تسافر؟ أسافر. So here, whenever you're traveling, whenever you travel, I will travel. So here you're talking about time. متى. متى تسافر؟ أسافر. اسم الشرط جازم. اسم الشرط, that's how you do the إعراب. The passing. اسم الشرط. Yeah, it's اسم الشرط. It's not حرف الشرط. جازم. Now, hypothetical now, or conditional now. And jazm is apocryphative, means it does jazm, right? It makes something ends in sukun at the end. And at the same time, it's zarf zaman. It's adverb of time. Remember, adverbs are used to describe verbs. متى تسافر؟ سافر فعل. سافر هذا فعل، أليس كذلك؟ نعم. بلى. متى تسافر؟ أسافر. Whenever you travel, I will travel. So my traveling is conditioned on your traveling. So I'm waiting for the time that you will travel. Then I will do the same. So if you don't travel, I'm not traveling. It's hypothetical. It's conditional. Something is based on something, and we are using adat meta to do that. All right. So that's how you do the Arab or passing. Let's look at ayya. Ayya yawmin tasum asum. Ayya yawmin. See, whatever day, whatever, right? Or whenever. So basically, whenever. Remember, when can be time or day. Because in English, when we're talking about time, we can put day inside it. Because day is also the component of time. A year is a component of time. A week is a component of time. So ayya yawmin tasum asum. Now, very, very important. Look at ayya. Why is it ayya, not ayyu? Because here is mansub, right? وعلامة نسبه فتحة, right? وهو مضاف. وهو مضاف. وهو مضاف. ويوم مضاف إليه. So that's why we get the yawm as yawmin. Now, why is this ayah? Because this ayah is being affected by tasum. You are fasting on that day. You are fasting on that day. So the effect of fasting is transferring to the ay. So we say ayya. We don't have to say ayu. It's mansub. اسم الشرط جازم ظرف الزمان منصوب وعلامة نصبه فتحة. That's the breakdown. First, this ayu is اسم الشرط. It's also jazim, right? Jazimun. Remember, this is ismu fa'il, right? This is ismu fa'il. Jazim, the doer. So jazm. This ayu is a jazm. It does jazm. That's the meaning of it. It does jazm. And it's also zarf zaman, adverb of time. Mansub, it does nasab. That is to say, objective case, right? It's objective right here because it's serving as an object to some. Walama. So what is the mark? What's the indicator? النصب وعلامة نصبه فتحة أي وهو مضاف لأنه مضاف ويوم مضاف إليه مجرور. And as always, مضاف إليه is مجرور. So that's how you do the passing on أي. So أي is part of the مقدمات, right? It's part of the مقدمات, the advanced particles. Let's look at أين. أين, where. أين can be where. أين تسكن, where do you stay? But أين here is wherever. It's like you can use حيثما. حيثما كنت, wherever you are. أينما أنت, or أينما تكون. So أين تسكن, أسكن. So you can see that here أين is not an interrogative particle like mata. If I ask somebody أين تسكن, full stop, my professor will ask me, what do you mean? أين تسكن? I have to bring a question mark here. أين تسكن? Where do you stay? Or where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you stay? But if I say Aina Taskun Askun, then in this instance, Aina is not being used as interrogative particle, but rather as what hypothetical or conditional particle. Aina Taskun Askun. Aina Taskun Askun. Wherever you're gonna stay, I'm gonna stay. Condition. That is where I'm gonna stay. is based or is conditioned on where you are going to stay. So how do we do the i'rab of the aina? Aina ismu shart, conditional noun. It's a jazm. It makes the ending of the fi'l mudari here sukun, as we can see. And then this aina too is also zarf zaman, a makana, adverb, adverb of place. And then it's mabni, it's always aina. Mabni al fatha, it's always aina. You're never gonna find ainu or aini. So when something is mabni, it's indeclinable. It's static at the end as far as the vowel is concerned. It's static. And mu'rab is dynamic at the end. So mu'rab can be tu, can be ta, can be ti. But mabni, like aina, is always going to be aina. So that's why we are saying mabni al fatha fi mahallin nasb. It's mahallin nasb. Why is it mahallin nasb? Because your living, where you're gonna stay, is affecting aina. So basically, aina is a receiving particle for the action of the verb sakana. Sakana. Sakana is a verb. So the action of the verb sakana is falling on aina, isn't it? So aina is fi mahallin nasb. Let's look at the next one. Ayya, ayya. أي مكان تجلس أجلس. أي مكان تجلس أجلس. أي مكان تجلس أجلس. Wherever you're gonna stay, you're gonna sit. أي مكان تجلس أجلس. Wherever place, wherever you're gonna sit. So here is wherever, wherever. So it's like حيثما. How do we do the إعراب? اسم الشرط, correct. Hypothetical particle, الجازم, ظرف الزمان, adverb of place, mansub. Why is it mansub? Because we have fatha here. And then وعلامة نصبه فتحة. وهو مضاف ومكان مضاف إليه. So as always, anytime ayya comes, it's going to introduce mudaf ilayh. But remember, ayya is always al-muqaddam, right? Either is a fa'il, muqaddam, or maf'ul bihi muqaddam. That's how ayya is going to be. It's going to be fa'il muqaddam or maf'ul bihi muqaddam. That is advanced. It has been, meaning it has been pushed to the front of the sentence. Usually we know that in Arabic, the fa'il is always either inside and the maf'ul bihi is following. Like, um, ضرب أحمد ضرب أحمد سعيدا, right? ضرب ضرب أحمد سعيدا. هذا فعل وفاعل ومفعول به. So you see where the maf'ul be here. So if you are making the arrangement first, second, third. So this is the file. So they are always structurally inside here. So when they are pushed here at the front, then they become muqaddamat, right? They become the advanced push, or we push them forward. So ayya, they are always at the beginning of the sentence. So they are, ay is going to be either fa'il or maf'ul bihi. And if you can determine whether it's maf'ul bihi or fa'il, it's dependent on you ascertaining the sentence very carefully to determine whether it is receiving something from the action of the verb, then it becomes a file. However, if it is projecting something to something, then it's become at the first instance, sorry, it becomes a maf'ul bihi. And then if it is projecting something onto another, then it becomes a file. But you can see that, as we all know, fa'il is marfu bid and then maf'ul bihi is mansub bil fatha. So if I see ayya, then automatically I know it's a nasab. We can also have ayyi, as we have already appreciated. However, there must be harfu jar here, min ayyi, أو إلى أي أو في أي. And then here it becomes اسم مجرور بمن أو إلى أو بفي. Other than that, أي can be فاعل أو مفعول به. If it is فاعل, it's مرفوع بالضمة. If it's مفعول به, then it's going to be منصوب بالفتحة. So أي مكان تجلس أجلس. And now, since it's a مقدم, it's اسم, then it becomes مضاف. It's always like that. أي مكان مضاف مضاف إليه. But grammatical function here is serving as what? ظرف. It's serving as اسم الشرط. It's serving as جازم. So three things. The ayu here is serving as ismun. What kind of ism? Shart. It's serving as a jazm. Why? Because it has made the ending of this consonant, the vowel ending here, as sukun, seen. So the consonant here is ending in sukun. Why? Because of the ay. And then at the same time, ajlis. This is also ending in sukun. Why? Because of the ay. So that is why we call it al-jazm. Zarf. Why is this zarf? What kind of zarf is that? Makan. Adverb of place. Why? Because it's talking about tajlis, wherever. And then he's talking about makan. He didn't say ayya zamani. He said ayya makan. So wherever. Wherever you're going to say, you cannot say here it means whenever, because whenever is time. Wherever is talking about a place or whatever place that you say. You can say whatever place. It can also be whatever place. Whatever place you say, I'm going to say. Wherever you say it, I'm going to say it. So it's zarf al-zaman. And it's mansub. Why is it mansub? Because there's fatha at the end here. Ayya. What is the alama? The marker? The alama is fatha. Right here we see it. وهو مضاف. Because here we are seeing makanin. Why is it makanin? Because of the ay. So therefore, ay is also mudaf. That's four. Mudaf. So these are the khasa'is of what? Ismu shart. Ismu shart can be ismu shart, it can be jazim, it can be zarf, either zarf zaman or zarf makan, or it can be mudaf. And then what follows it is going to be mudaf. Now, let's look at a situation. Let me go back, make sure I didn't jump over. Yeah, Aina Taskon, Askon. Aina. Okay, that's good. I haven't, skipped anything. So let's look at the writer is saying number 3. وإن دلت الأداة على ذات وإن دلت الأداة على ذات. Now, what is a zat? A zat is nafs. A zat is something that is like nafsun, a person. It can be a person, كالرجل, الرجل, zat. And then the word zatun can be self, self. So when they say hubbu zat, right? Hubbu zat. Hubbuzat means self-love. Hubbuzat, self-love. So the word that in Lughat al-Arabiya can Hubbuzat, self-love. Yes, you love yourself. So maybe Hubbuzat can be somebody who is narcissistic, if you will. Hubbuzat. So the writer is telling us that in that little adat al zat, if the adat or the particle, the hypothetical particle we're looking at, if it is expressing that or is talking about um, self, right? That. So that again, let me make it clear. That can be self, and then your that can be your ego. Zaton, your ego, your ego. So if you say indahu that, indahu zato means he has an ego. All of us we have ego, right? So that can be also person. So here in dallat ala that bimana in dallat ala person, a person, an individual. So if the adat is expressing or is indicating or it's operating on a person, falaha halatani, then it has two perspectives, right? Or it has two situations upon which we can analyze, or we can analyze it from two perspectives or 2 points or 2 points of view. So hala. But please understand the word that. 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 Your that is your self. Your that is your ego, right? Your that is your ego. So any word that has self, remember to use the word that in Arabic. Self-confident, self-taught, that, and on. So that is the. What about like self? Let's say self-denial. You say inkar that, right? Inkar that, self-denial. You deny something for yourself. You don't. You don't- you're trying to protect yourself, or you're trying to deny, or you don't want to get something. What about self-improvement? Then you have to say tahsin. Tahsin is that self-improvement. So anything that you have remember to use the word that. So in dallat, let's go back to our book quickly. وإن دلت الأداة على that, if the adat, the particle, the hypothetical conditional particle we're looking at is looking at that is talking about, is describing or is determining something concerning a person. فلها حالتان والأدوات التي تدل على الذات. Said the adawat that we have learned so far, there are some that expresses that, right? We have man, ma, mahma, and then we have ayu mudaf ila that, right? Now, let's look at the halatul ula, the first phase or the first attention or the first perspective. تؤرب الأداة مفعول به مقدما. تؤرب مفعول به مقدما. You can do the إعراب the person as مفعول به مقدما, that is advance لفعل الشرط. إن كان الفعل الشرط معتديا لم يستوفي مفعوله. Now, is استوفى to be adequate or to fulfill, to be adequate or to fulfill. So if the adat is indicating that, then the i'rab is مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. But the second condition is إن كان فعل الشرط معتديا. If the فعل الشرط is معتدي معتديا. And what is فعل المعتدي? When the فعل is what we call transitive, right? When the فعل is transitive. إن كان الفعل معتديا متعديا sorry متعديا. That is transitive verb. And a transitive verb requires an object. أي فعل متعدي يحتاج إلى ماذا؟ يحتاج إلى مفعول به. So a فعل is متعدي. It's a فعل that requires مفعول به. And this is opposite to فعل لازم, right? فعل لازم. The lazim is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. Just like in English, we have transitive verb and then we have intransitive verb. Transitive verb requires an object to complete its meaning. And then intransitive verb does not require an object. So we have fi'l lazim and then we have fi'l muta'addi. So if the adat is maf'ul bi muqaddiman li fi'l shart, then the fi'l must be what? Muta'addi. However, it hasn't fulfilled its maf'ul lahu. That's it. The maf'uluhu, the fi'l, the object has not been fulfilled. It's a field that requires an object, all right. But where is the maf'ul? We don't find it. It's not there. For instance, here, man tukrim tamlik qalbah. Man tukrim tamlik qalbah. Now look at it. Man tukrim tamlik qalbah. Tukrim man. Who? So you hear the maf'ul bihi is not clear. If you honor somebody, so here it's talking about that, right? It's talking about that. It's talking about a person. So that's why we saying that if it is expression, what is expressing that, right? Expressing that. So here, man tukrim, whoever you honor, or kind, or whoever that you are kind to, it can also be that. Whoever that you are kind to. So who? Man. Who is that person? We don't know. So the maf'ul has not been what? Established. لم يست لم يعني يستوفي, right? The fail is not complete. It hasn't been fulfilled yet. So we don't know. تملك قلبه. Basically, you would, or you will own their heart. So if you are kind, if you honor people, you give them what they need, you end up owning their heart. And that is to say, you end up winning them over to your side. But who are we talking about? Who is the maf'ul bihi, right? Because the word tukrim, akrama, akrama, you cannot use the word akrama without the maf'ul bihi. It's like saying akrama. If you say akrama ahmadu, akrama ahmadu, ahmad is kind. Kind to who? We don't know. So this verb akrama is muta'addi. It's transitive. needs an object. So akrama Ahmadu Mahmudan. Then it makes sense. So this fi'l, tukrim, is muta'addi. It's transitive verb. But where is the maf'ul bihi? And where's the maf'ul bihi? Aina maf'ul bihi? Has it been muqaddim because of what? This. So this is maf'ul bihi muqaddim. But here it's talking about that. Talking about a person. So we don't know. Who is that person? So the maf'ul bihi has not been fulfilled or has not been determined completely. Whether you are talking about a girl or you're talking about a woman or anything, we don't know. Man tukrim, who? Because we know who refers to a that, right? Who refers to that. So how do you do the i'rab here? Is ismu shart correct? Is jazim correct? Is mabni ala sukun man? It's always going to be man unless it's preceded by alif or lam. في محل النسب and it's مفعول به مقدم. مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. Advanced مفعول به for the فعل الشرط. Means a مفعول به that has been pushed forward. Remember, مفعول به are always by standard at the end of a sentence. Like if I say أكرم أحمد سعيدا, this is مفعول به, right? وملك أو فملك. Let's say I will put فملك قلبه. And then he owned or he won ملك or فأملك تملك ملك ملك تملك ملك أكرم أحمد سعيدا فملك قلبه. Because when you are kind to people, you win their heart. You own the heart. When you own the heart, it means whatever you say, they listen. You see that this sentence is open. So I see the maf'ul bihi here, and I see the fa'il here, and then I see the fail here. So this fail akrama is what? Is what we call muta'addi. That is transitive verb. However, if you use it in conditional sentence like man tukrim tamlik qalbah, you are talking about a person, but we don't know. As that is mubhim. It's ambiguous. We don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Ahmed? Or are you talking about human beings? What kind of human beings are you talking about? Gender wise. Are you talking about who? Man tukrim tamlik qalbah. But the Arab is what we're looking at. How do we do this Arab? This is the maf'ul bihi here. And it's maf'ul bihi muqaddam because tukrim, the ikram is fallen on the man. Whoever that you are kind to. Or if you are kind to people, or if you are kind to someone, you will own their heart. So the إعراب is من اسم الشرط جازم مبني على السكون في محل النصب مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. Let's look at the next example. ما تقرأ تستفد منه. ما تقرأ تستفد منه. Now, اسم الشرط ما, we're looking at the word ما. اسم الشرط جازم مبني على السكون في محل النصب مفعول به مقدم again لفعل الشرط. Now this ما we're talking about ما تقرأ. Now look at the word قرأ. قرأ is متعدي. It's transitive verb. And a transitive verb requires what? An object to complete its meaning. To complete its meaning. But in this sentence, we don't see the maf'ul bihi. For instance, if I say qara'a Ahmadu, Ahmad read. What? And then another person writes qara'a Ahmadul Qur'ana. Qara'a Ahmadul Qur'ana. So you can see that maf'ul bihi, fa'il, fa'il. But here we have fa'ilun wa fa'il. So you see that qara'a Ahmad is general. So we don't know. Maf'ul bihi is mubham. What did he read? Is it jarida? Is it sahifa? Is it Quran? Is it mawsu'ah? We don't know. What did he read? But if the second one, if I say qara Ahmad Quran, it's very clear and logical. When I break it, I have the fail first, and then the second component is gonna have the file second, and then the maf'ul bihi third. But if you look at the sentence, the ma here is representing what was read, right? The ma is representing what was read or what is about to be read. Ma taqra, tastafid minhu. And that is to say, whatever that you read, whatever you read, you benefit from it. ما تقرأ تستفد منه. Why? But our focus is on this adat. Talking about the zat. Maybe a kitab. I don't know. So how do you do the i'rab? اسم الشرط جازم مبني على السكون is correct. جازم correct. مبني على السكون ما is مبني على السكون. Why? Because of the alif mamduda. This is alif mamduda. Right? Ma or just alif. السكون في محل النسب is in the what? In the position of nasb. And nasb, what kind of nasb? مفعول به. Because in لغة العربية, we have so many nasabun. So many. There are so many nasab. Right? We can have مفعول مطلق. We can have مفعول we can have النسب يعني من القطع and on and on and on. There are so many nasab. We have ismu inna as nasab. A lot of them. So what kind of nasab here? The nasab is maf'ul bihi. It's not nasab ismu inna, right? Or it's not nasab khabar kana. Because if I say kana Allahu, then I have to say ghafuran. This is nasab. What kind of nasab? It's nasab khabar kana. Khabar kana mansub. So this is a form of nasab. Nasab khabar kana. But this nasab is nasab maf'ul bihi. So there are so many nasab in Arabic grammar. So that is why we are saying here في محل النسب مفعول به. We didn't say في محل النسب مقدم للفعل. مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. Now, if you look at the footnote down here, the writer is explaining what we were talking about. He said الفعل تقرب فعل متعد, right? فعل متعد يحتاج إلى مفعول به. So somebody asks you ما هو فعل متعد. You just say فعل الذي يحتاج إلى مفعول به. وفي الإنجليزية نسميه ماذا؟ transitive. Transitive verb. That's it. In English, we call it transitive verb. It's a verb that requires an object. مفعول به. But ولا يوجد بعده مفعول به. Right? If you look at the sentence, we don't have مفعول به after it. لذلك أُعْرِبَ اسم الشرط. So that is why we did the person as اسم الشرط مفعول به مقدما لفعل الشرط. And let's look at the footnote on قرأ. He said يقال في الفعل قرأ ما قيل في تكرم. He's saying that we're going to say the same thing as we said concerning the field تكرم. And that is to say تقرأ فعل متعد يحتاج إلى مفعول به. مفعول به. فعل متعد يحتاج إلى مفعول به. ولا يوجد بعده مفعول به له. Yeah. If you look at ما تقرأ, ماذا تقرأ? What? You don't know. Why is the مفعول به? It's not there. So therefore we have to do the إعراب as اسم الشرط لمفعول به مقدما ما لفعل الشرط. I hope it's clear from this angle. Let's go to the next page. Let's go to the next page. Let's look at أي كتاب تقرأ تستفد. I think we've done this. أي كتاب the other one was ما أي كتاب تقرأ تستفد منه. Now here you can see that أي كتاب أي, we're using أي, whatever. So here it means whatever book that you read, you would benefit from it. So اسم الشرط جازم مفعول به مقدم منصوب لفعل الشرط وهو مضاف. أي مضاف. كتاب مضاف إليه. Let's look at قوله تعالى من يهده الله فهو المهتدي. من يهدي. It's supposed to be من but remember يهدي هدى يهدي. It's supposed to be sukun, but the sukun cannot come because this is what فعل يعني مؤتل الآخر. It has a second letter at the end. So since we have the man, we have to what delete the ya, and then we say man yahdi. So this is where the sukun is indicating, but we don't show it. Man yahdi Allahu. Now Allah al-fa'il. Okay. فهو المهتدي. Man, whoever Allah guides, Allah is the fa'il. Okay, who? Man who? Where is the maf'ul bihi? That's the question. Where is the maf'ul bihi? We don't know. But the word hada is what? Is fi'lun mu'tadin. The word hada is fi'lun mu'tadin. It needs an object. يحتاج إلى مفعول به. But where is the maf'ul bihi? Where is it requires maf'ul bihi? But here we don't have it. So who is representing it? Man. Man is the one indicating to us that it is the maf'ul bihi. So the action of the hidayah is coming back on the man. Allah is the person who is doing the hidayah. But who is receiving the hidayah of Allah? We don't know. Whether it's Idris or Mahmud or Yaqub or Sa'id, we don't know. فهو المهتدي. Allah is saying that then he's really, 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 truly, truly guided. He is really the guided one. If Allah guides you, you are the guided one. And how do you do the i'rab of man? Ismu shart, correct. Jazm is correct. Now, where is the alamatu jazm? Hasfu harfu illa, right? We appropriate the harful illa. That is the hada, right? Hada, this alf maqsurah, and then the mudari becomes yahdi. The alf maksura changes to ya in the amr, fi'l al-mudari, excuse me. And now if you use man, because man is a jazm, it takes away the ya in the yahdi, then it becomes man yahdi. So why do we have just the D here, not man yah? Now look at it. If I say man yahd, there's going to be two sukoons following each other, which will make it very difficult for us to pronounce like this. How do I say this? Man yah, and then sukoon and sukoon again. Very difficult. The Arab grammarians and cultural, they said, let's delete the ya. Man yahdi. Let's delete the ya, right? Let's delete the ya to as a compensation. That's it. Let's delete the ya as a compensation. So that anytime you and I we see that the ya is gone, then we know there's a reason why the ya was taken away. And the reason why the ya was taken away is because of man. Why? Because the man is jazm. And we cannot show the jazm, the sukun. So we say, what is the marker? What shows us that it is jazm? Then we say has for harfa illa. So let's continue on it. Let's continue. All right. مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. Right? لفعل الشرط. And then this فعل is going to be what? فعل المضارع مجزوم بمن وعلامة جزمه حذف حرف إلا. Let's look at قوله تعالى وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وما 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 ما تفعلوا من خير. ما اسم الشرط جازم مبني على السكون في محل النصب مفعول به مقدم لفعل الشرط. Why is it مفعول به? Because the تفعلوا is falling on what you're gonna do. Whatever you do. Whatever you do. So what is it? Is it salat? Is it zakat? Is it hajj? We don't know. So whatever. So that's the maf'ul bihi. It's the one receiving the action of the word فعل. فعل. وفعل اسمه يعني فعل متعدي, right? متعدي. فعل is فعل متعدي. So متعدي is always requiring an object, but there's no object here. So what happened? So we do the i'rab the way we did it. Let's move on to the next part. قوله تعالى أيما تدعو فله الأسماء الحسنى. أي اسم الشرط جازم مفعول به مقدم ما زائدة. This ma أيما, remember it's from the word أي. So when you do the زائدة of ya and ma, then it's the alif maksura. Now this is how it is. Let me do it this way. أي plus ma, right? But because we are adding the ma زائدة, then we're gonna have أيما أي أيما. So we delete and then we add ayya. So we make the ayya, it goes up like this, and then fathatain, and then idgham. Ayyamma. So this ma is ma za'idah la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. It has no i'rab specification. So we're gonna end here. Next time we meet, inshallah, we're gonna look at فعل الثانية. دمتم بخير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. حياكم الله.